Hello, good evening. Start off this edition on the 24th of June with apologies for not having done my newscast yesterday. But I'll make up today. The stories I give you now are relatable to news lines of June 23rd. The first, an interesting question is as to whether a spouse permission is mandatory when one of them decides to give their organ in donation. The question arose when a lady wanted to donate her liver to her ailing father. The question arose when the star hospitals in the city insisted for a no objection certificate from her spouse. Strangely, she had an estranged spouse, and he was gaining currency, according to her, for withholding such permission. Sripad Prabhakar, senior counsel, appearing in the central petition on behalf of the donor, would contend that the provisions of the Organ Donation Act did not provide for any such requirement, and therefore the hospital was not empowered to insist on such a permission. The judge, dealing with a letter issued by the authorities in this regard, suspended the said letter, thereby giving leeway to the party to go ahead without any permission from her spouse. Justice J. Srinivas Rao granted bail to a laborer from Odisha, aged 31 years, who was involved as an accused in a case relating to being in possession of about 24 kgs of dry ganja. He was apprehended on the 17th of February and was arrested on the 18th of February. According to the prosecution, he was found in possession of a commercial quantity of ganja. He would plead that that he was falsely implicated in the case, that he had no criminal antecedents. The court found that there were no criminal antecedents and that he was in prison for 108 days and enlarged him on conditional bail. Justice Pula Karthik of the Telangana High Court dealt with an interesting writ petition. We've heard of various commissions acting in excess of their jurisdiction. This time, allegations are against the Telangana Women's Commission. A government employee, Gundu Srinivas, would complain that members of the Telangana Women's Commission had forcibly held him back, detained him in their office for long hours, and forced him to sign on papers to part with money in favor of one Nirmala and one Manoj Kumar Simmapura. He said that the disputes that he had with the private parties were strictly civil in nature. They had nothing to do with the Women's Commission, and in any event, the Women's Commission had no power on the matter. Justice B. Vijay Sen Reddy recorded an undertaking of the authorities that they will consider an application by the famous Vivekavardhini Institute of Technology in the city. The age-old institution in the city was before the High Court, complaining that they had obtained eligibility certificate from the All India Council for Technical Education for starting new BTech courses, but was stonewalled by the government and by the university in charge in not granting them recognition and approval. They said that this infringed on the rights of theirs to run an education institution in their status as a minority institution. Vivekavardhini is run by Maharashtrians, and the institution is a linguistic minority community in Telangana. Justice N.V. Shravan Kumar of the Telangana High Court deprecated, yet again, the activity of persons abusing the process of public law remedies in writ petitions. He was dealing with a writ petition filed by R. Shravya. She would complain that the sub-registrar's office had failed to register certain of her properties under the guise that the properties were enlisted as work properties. She said that such refusal was oral. The court found that she had not moved the appropriate authority, she had not paid the relevant stamp duty, but had made wild allegations against the statutory authorities. He deprecated such a practice and dismissed her petition. I'll sign off in part for this edition of the June 23rd news stories.